Have you ever felt that the pain in your knees stops you from enjoying even the simplest things, like taking a peaceful walk or getting out of bed easily? Or that your hands no longer respond like before, as if every movement hurt more than the last? Mary, a woman of 78 years, knows this very well. For years she suffered in silence, with stiff hands in the morning and a knee that creaked every time she tried to climb a step. She had tried creams, pills, therapies. Nothing seemed to work for long, and everything brought side effects that made her feel worse. But one day, talking with a childhood friend, she heard something that surprised her. "What if you try bay leaf oil? My grandmother used it for everything, and she always said it was the secret to aging without pain." That sparked her curiosity. Bay leaf oil? Wasn't that just for cooking? What Mary didn't know is that bay laurel, that plant often used just as a seasoning, has been a natural remedy for centuries because of its anti-inflammatory and soothing properties. In ancient Rome, warriors used it after battles. In Greece, they offered it to the gods as a symbol of healing. Today, science confirms what popular wisdom already knew. Bay laurel can relieve joint pain naturally, without chemicals, without side effects, and right from the comfort of your home. Today, I want to teach you how to make that oil, step by step. You can prepare it yourself with simple, natural ingredients. You won't need to spend fortunes or depend on industrial products. Just go back to basics, to what works. And I say this sincerely. I also thought there was no alternative, that it was part of aging, of wear and tear, until I tried it. And everything changed. That's why I'm here today, to share it with you. So before we start, I want to know a little more about you. Tell me in the comments, where do you suffer pain in your body? Knees, hands, back? And from which country are you watching me? I'd love to know from which corner of the world you're joining this community that seeks a more natural, healthier, and pain-free life. Let's start this journey together. Before teaching you how to prepare the oil, it's worth knowing a little more about this powerful and yet often forgotten plant. Bay laurel is not a new trend or a recent discovery. Its history goes back thousands of years. In ancient Greece, it was much more than a simple shrub. It was a symbol of honor and wisdom. Olympic champions were crowned with bay leaves as recognition of their strength and greatness. In Rome, victorious generals returned from battles wearing crowns woven from its leaves. It was a symbol of glory, resilience, and respect. But beyond its symbolic value, bay laurel has always had a very practical use. Greek women used it in steam baths to soothe the body. Doctors at that time applied it as an ointment to relieve muscle and joint pain. The philosopher Hippocrates, considered the father of medicine, already spoke about its healing properties. And the most surprising thing, many of those properties now have scientific backing. The bay laurel we use for these purposes is Laurus nobilis, also known as true bay laurel. It's an evergreen shrub with shiny green leaves and a penetrating aroma. It grows in warm climates, mainly in the Mediterranean region, though nowadays it's cultivated in many parts of the world. Its leaves, when dried, concentrate even more of their essential oils, which are responsible for their soothing and anti-inflammatory effects. But beware, not all laurels are suitable. Some varieties, like cherry laurel or rose bay, can be toxic and should not be used in cooking or natural remedies. Make sure you're using Laurus nobilis, the same one used in cooking and traditional medicine. This plant, although it may seem common today, was once considered a noble, even sacred species. In many ancient cultures, bay laurel was burned as incense to purify the air and ward off diseases. In others, it was placed under the pillow to attract restful dreams. And in more than one grandmother's kitchen, a sprig of bay laurel hung on the wall as a symbol of good health, protection, and longevity. Our grandmothers, without laboratories or scientific studies, already knew what worked. They used bay laurel in oils, infusions, or poultices. They did so because they learned it from their mothers, and their mothers from theirs. It was popular knowledge passed down through generations. Today, that wisdom is valuable again. Not because of legends, but because science now says so too. So when we talk about preparing bay leaf oil, don't think it's something new or experimental. Think of it as recovering a tradition, honoring those who came before, and using centuries of wisdom to ease your own pain. See you in a moment. Tag. Now that you know bay laurel is more than just an aromatic leaf, let's get to the important part. Why does it work so well to relieve joint pain? The answer lies in its composition. Inside each bay leaf, there is a natural laboratory full of compounds proven to have powerful effects on the body. Let's look at them one by one, simply and clearly. First, eugenol. This is an essential oil also found in clove and is known for its strong analgesic and anti-inflammatory properties. Eugenol acts by reducing the production of substances in the body that cause inflammation and pain. It's like turning off the internal alarm that makes our joints swell and hurt. That's why, when applied as oil, it can provide almost immediate relief, especially in cases of arthritis, rheumatism, or chronic pain. Then we have cineole, also known as eucalyptol. This compound has muscle-relaxing and antispasmodic properties. It helps ease muscle tension that often accompanies joint pain. It also improves blood circulation in the applied area, speeding recovery and reducing stiffness. And last but not least, lauric acid. This natural fatty acid has antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory effects, strengthening the skin while protecting the most sensitive areas. It's especially useful for older adults whose joints are exposed not only to pain, but also to fragile skin. Now, what's the difference between applying bay leaf oil and using a commercial painkiller? That's an excellent question. Medications like ibuprofen or acetaminophen also reduce pain, yes, but they do so systemically. That means they affect the whole body, including organs like the liver, kidneys, and stomach. Over time, constant use can bring serious side effects. In contrast, bay leaf oil works locally. You apply it exactly where it hurts, without passing through your entire digestive system. Plus, it contains no artificial chemicals or additives that might harm your health in the long term. It's safer, more natural, and in many cases, just as effective. And it's not just us saying this. There are scientific studies backing these claims. For example, research published in the journal Phytotherapy Research showed that bay leaf extracts have effects comparable to non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, but without causing stomach irritation. Another study from the University of Tabriz in Iran observed that patients with joint pain experienced significant pain reduction after applying bay leaf oil for 2 weeks. This isn't magic, it's natural biochemistry. Bay laurel uses what nature perfectly designed to help the body calm down, recover, and strengthen itself. So now you know why bay laurel not only relieves pain, but also protects and regenerates. And the best part, you can prepare it yourself, at home, without spending much, and with complete safety. Gag. I want to tell you a story that personally touched my heart. Because behind every natural remedy, there are real people who suffer, who seek solutions, and sometimes find them where they least expected. Mrs. Catherine is 74 years old and lives in Seville. She was always an active woman. She liked walking around her neighborhood, climbing and descending stairs without problems, going to the market with her cloth shopping cart, and taking care of her plants on the balcony. But all that began to change a few years ago. First, there was discomfort in her left knee. It must be age, she thought. Then the other knee. Then the steps began to seem like mountains. Walking down the street became a challenge, and little by little, she started avoiding leaving the house. Every time she climbed stairs, she had to stop, hold tightly onto the handrail, and sometimes even ask for help. I felt useless, she confessed to me one afternoon, as if I couldn't move by myself anymore. Her doctor prescribed anti-inflammatories. They told her she could try injections, but the side effects, the dizziness, the stomach pain, each treatment seemed to come at a higher price than the relief. Until one day, her neighbor on the second floor, a lady who grows aromatic herbs on her terrace, told her about something different. "Catherine, why don't you try bay leaf oil?" she said. "My grandmother used it when she had pains, and I swear it worked for her." At first, Catherine laughed. Bay leaf oil? Isn't that for cooking? But the neighbor insisted and prepared a small homemade bottle for her with fresh leaves and olive oil. I looked at it suspiciously, Catherine tells me, but I applied it just to try. I rubbed it on my knees every night before going to sleep. At first, I didn't notice anything, but on the third or fourth day, something changed. The pain didn't disappear completely, of course. It's not magic. But Catherine began to notice that her legs were less stiff in the mornings, that she could get out of bed more easily, that the stairs, though still a bit painful, were no longer impossible. And most importantly, she regained confidence in her body. I wasn't running or dancing, she says with a smile, but I went back to the market. I watered my plants again. I felt alive again. Mrs. Catherine still uses her oil every day. Sometimes she adds a few drops of rosemary. Other times she warms it slightly before applying. She says it's not just for relief, but because she feels like she's caring for herself. Because she no longer expects everything from a pill. Because she found in something as simple as a leaf a way to reclaim her dignity. Her story isn't unique. There are many people like her, maybe even you, who are listening now. And if Catherine could take one more step with the help of a plant, maybe you can too. Tack. Now that you know how powerful bay laurel can be, and you've heard Mrs. Catherine's story, you're probably wondering, how do I make it at home? The good news is that preparing this oil is easier than it seems. You don't need sophisticated equipment or to spend a lot of money. With basic ingredients and a few tips, you can have your own bottle of natural relief at home. Let's see step by step what you need. First, the leaves. The main ingredient is, of course, bay laurel. Now, should you use fresh or dried leaves? Both are valid, but each has advantages. Fresh leaves keep all their essential oils intact, resulting in a stronger aroma and greater therapeutic power. But they also require a drying process beforehand, because if used directly, they can ferment inside the oil and spoil the preparation. On the other hand, dried leaves are ready to use. Their concentration of active ingredients is a bit lower, but still very effective, especially if you get good quality ones. Well-dried, green, without spots or broken pieces. You can buy them in herbal shops or natural stores, or even dry them yourself by leaving the leaves outdoors in a shaded, dry place for 1 or 2 weeks. Second, the base oil. You have several options here, but the most important thing is to choose one of good quality that also has anti-inflammatory properties. The most traditional is extra virgin olive oil. It's rich in antioxidants and penetrates the skin well. Also, it's easy to find and economical. Another option is sweet almond oil, ideal for more sensitive skin and fast absorption. And if you prefer a thicker texture and a mild aroma, you can use coconut oil, although in cold climates it solidifies and needs to be slightly warmed before use. Third, the tools. To prepare and store the oil properly, you will need the following. A glass jar with a tight lid, preferably dark to protect the oil from light. A fine strainer or cotton cloth to filter the oil once made. A wooden spoon to stir gently, since metal can alter the oils over time. And if you have it handy, a small pot or heat-resistant glass container to do the infusion, especially if you use the warm method, which I will explain later. Fourth, the quality. Don't skimp on ingredient quality. You don't need huge quantities. Just a few good handfuls of bay leaves and a first cold-pressed base oil. If you can get organic bay laurel, even better. Remember that you're going to apply it to your skin, so the purer and more natural it is, the more beneficial. And finally, the cost. All this does not require a big investment. With what you'd spend on a single cream or ointment for joints, you can prepare several jars of your own natural oil. A small bottle of olive oil, a package of dried bay leaves, and a reused glass jar are enough to start. Plus, once you learn the process, you can do it continuously. And if you like it, you can even make more to give to someone in need. As they say in many villages, if the remedy is good, it's meant to be shared. Dang. Very well. Now you have the ingredients and materials ready. Now yes, Let's go with what you've probably been waiting for. How to prepare your own bay leaf oil at home. I'm going to explain two methods. One fast, for those who want results the same day, and another more traditional, which takes longer but extracts all the benefits more deeply. Step 1. Prepare the leaves. Start by taking 2 to 3 handfuls of dried bay leaves. If they are fresh, make sure you have dried them in the air for at least 1 week beforehand. Place them on a clean surface, and with the help of a mortar or your own hands, crush them slightly. The goal is not to turn them into powder, but to break their structure a bit so they release their essential oils better. This step is key for the bay laurel to release its soul, as grandmothers used to say. Step 2. Heat the oil. In a small pot or heat-resistant glass container, gently warm your base oil. It should not boil. It only needs to be warm, between lukewarm and hot to the touch. If heated too much, the compounds burn and lose properties. A good reference is to keep it on minimum heat, or even in a double boiler for a few minutes. This initial heat helps open the pores of the leaves and speeds up the infusion. Now you have two options. Fast method. Hot infusion. This method is ideal if you need the oil the same day. Put the crushed leaves into the glass jar. Pour the warm oil over them, making sure to cover them completely. Close the jar and let it rest for at least 6 to 8 hours, shaking gently every hour if you can. Once the time has passed, strain the oil using a fine cloth or mesh strainer. Press the leaves well to extract everything. Store the oil in a clean, dark jar, preferably amber glass. This oil will be ready to use. Its aroma will be strong and penetrating, a sign that it is well infused. Traditional method. Slow infusion. This method requires more patience but offers a more potent and stable oil. Fill a jar with crushed bay leaves. Add cold oil to cover the leaves completely. Seal well and let the jar rest in a warm, dark place for at least 2 weeks. Some prefer to leave it up to a month. Every 2 or 3 days, gently shake the jar so the oil absorbs the active compounds from the bay leaves. After the time has passed, strain the oil carefully, squeezing the leaves well so as not to waste a drop. Store the oil in a dark container, away from sun and heat. How do you know it's done right? The oil will have a greenish or slightly golden color, depending on the type of base oil. The aroma will be strong, herbal, with notes similar to eucalyptus. When applied to the skin, you will notice a slight warmth or a refreshing sensation. That's a good sign. Tips to boost its effect. You can add a few drops of rosemary or mint essential oil to reinforce the analgesic effect. If you want it thicker, add a bit of melted beeswax and you'll have a balm. For deeper absorption, apply it after a hot shower or foot bath. With these steps, you already have homemade bay leaf oil, natural, chemical-free, and with the potential to relieve your joint discomfort whenever you need it. Take. Now that you have your bay leaf oil ready, comes an equally important part: how to apply it correctly. Because it's not enough to have a powerful remedy if you don't use it properly. The way you apply it can make the difference between momentary relief and a real, progressive, lasting improvement. First, key areas. This oil is especially effective in areas where movement and daily load cause the most wear, such as knees, especially if you suffer from osteoarthritis or difficulty climbing stairs. Hands, very common in people who write a lot, knit, or have worked with their hands for years. Shoulders and elbows, areas where muscle stress accumulates easily. Hips, ideal for those who have discomfort when walking, getting up, or sleeping on their side. If you have discomfort in feet, ankles, or even lower back, you can also apply it there. This oil has no contraindications, so you can use it with confidence anywhere on your body that feels tense, sore, or inflamed. Second, time of day. The best time to apply it is at night, right before going to bed. Why? Because the body enters repair mode during night rest. If you apply the oil then, the active compounds have more time to act without interference from daily movement. Third, massage technique. It's not just about rubbing it on. Take your time. Let this be a moment of self-care. Use a generous amount, but don't soak. A few drops are enough for each area. With your fingertips, make slow, firm, circular movements, but without pain. If you apply it on the knees, massage from the center outwards, then up towards the thigh. On the hands, start from the wrists and go up to the fingers, working each joint. For shoulders or hips, make wide circular movements and breathe deeply while doing it. This massage not only helps the oil penetrate better, it also stimulates circulation, relaxes muscles, and improves lymphatic drainage, which reduces inflammation. Fourth, enhance with heat. After applying the oil and massaging, you can place a warm cloth or a hot water bottle on the area for about 15 minutes. This gentle heat opens pores and helps the bay leaf's active compounds penetrate deeper into skin and tissues. Do this while lying down or sitting comfortably. It's a moment of rest, almost like a small healing ritual. Fifth, frequency of use. You can use the oil daily or every other day. Consistency is what brings results. Don't expect a miracle change in one day, but over weeks you'll notice less stiffness in the mornings, milder pain after walking or standing, greater freedom of movement in affected joints, better sleep at night, especially if pain woke you or made it hard to sleep on your side. Remember, this is a natural, gentle, but constant treatment. Sometimes the body takes time to respond, but it does. Give it time, care for your body, and be patient with the process. You are not alone. Jag. Now that you know how to prepare and apply bay leaf oil for joints, I want to tell you something very few people know. This oil is not only for joint pain, it has incredible versatility, and if you combine it with other natural ingredients, you can turn it into a true elixir of well-being. 1. Add essential oils to boost its effect. If you want to take your preparation to the next level, you can add a few drops of lavender or rosemary essential oil to the jar once the oil is ready and strained. Lavender. Ideal if you use it at night. It has calming effects, relaxes the nervous system, and improves sleep. It also enhances the analgesic effect of bay laurel. Rosemary. Perfect for mornings or before physical activity. It stimulates circulation, relieves muscle tension, and helps clear the mind. With just 5 to 8 drops per 100 milliliters of bay leaf oil, it's enough to notice the difference. Just make sure to use pure, good quality essential oils. 2. Use as a general massage oil. Although its main function is to relieve joints, this oil is also excellent as a body massage oil. If you've ever felt your body tired, heavy, or fatigued after a long day, bay leaf oil can help. Applied on the back, legs, or neck, it helps relax tense muscles, release accumulated tension, and provide a feeling of well-being that lasts for hours. If someone can help you with the massage, even better. If not, you can use it yourself on the shoulders, neck, or calves. You'll see how your circulation improves and you'll feel lighter. 3. Baths with bay leaf oil. A wonderful way to enjoy its benefits is through a relaxing bath. Fill your bathtub or a large container with warm water. Add about 10 to 15 drops of bay leaf oil. If you want it to disperse better, mix it first with a tablespoon of milk or honey. Soak your feet or whole body for 20 minutes. This bath helps relax muscles, reduce inflammation, and calm the mind. It's especially useful if you've had a very busy day or if you find it hard to sleep. Even a foot bath with bay leaf oil can help release accumulated tension. 4. Combine with calming infusions. The effect of the oil can be enhanced if you use it along with an infusion of medicinal plants. For example, have a chamomile, valerian, or passion flower infusion before bed. While sipping the infusion, massage the painful areas with the oil. Breathe deeply. Make this moment a ritual of self-care. This combination works from the outside and inside, helping you not only relieve pain, but also rest better, release stress, and reconnect with yourself. 5. For active or older athletes. Do you still walk daily, do yoga, tend your garden, or enjoy cycling? Then this oil can also be your ally to prevent discomfort, not just treat it. Use it before physical activity with a gentle massage to warm the area. Apply it afterward to relax muscles and avoid stiffness. It's ideal for older adults who stay active, value their independence, and want to care for their joints before pain becomes a problem. As you can see, bay leaf oil is not just a remedy for when something hurts. It's a powerful tool to prevent, care for, and keep the body in balance. So far, we've seen all the wonderful things bay leaf oil can do, but like any natural remedy, caution is necessary. Because natural doesn't always mean harmless, and there are certain cases where it's better to be careful. First, this oil is not for ingestion. The bay leaf oil you prepare at home is made with a vegetable oil base, and although its ingredients are natural, it is not meant to be taken internally. It's not like a bay leaf infusion. Applying it on the skin is safe, but drinking it can cause stomach upset or even toxic effects, especially if a non-edible variety of bay laurel was used, or if the base oil is not suitable for consumption. Second, avoid during pregnancy and breastfeeding. If you're pregnant or nursing, it's best to consult a health professional before using any essential oil or plant extract, even topically. Some plants can have stimulating effects on the uterus or interfere with milk production. So, better to wait as a precaution. Third, do not apply on irritated skin or open wounds. If you have wounds, scrapes, burns, dermatitis, or skin infections, avoid applying the oil there. Although bay laurel has antiseptic properties, it can also be irritating if the skin is damaged. Wait for healing before use or consult a dermatologist. Fourth, always do an allergy test. Before using the oil for the first time, especially if you have sensitive skin, do a simple test. Apply a small amount on the inside of your forearm. Leave it for 12 to 24 hours without washing. If there's no redness, itching, or burning, you can use it safely. It's rare, but some people are allergic to bay laurel or components of the base oil. Better safe than sorry. Fifth, do not use on inflamed varicose veins. If you have very marked or inflamed varicose veins, it's best to avoid applying heat or intense massages on that area. In such cases, a wrong massage can worsen circulation or cause discomfort. Always consult a doctor if in doubt about how to use the oil in these situations. Sixth, store the oil well. Once you've prepared it, keep the jar in a cool, dry place away from direct light, ideally a closed cupboard or pantry. Light and heat can oxidize the oil and make it lose its properties over time. Use dark glass jars with tight lids. Don't store it near the kitchen where there's a lot of heat. And if you notice a strange smell or color change, don't use it anymore. Properly stored, your oil can last between 3 and 6 months in perfect condition. In summary, bay leaf oil is safe and powerful if used with respect. There's no need to fear it, but you do need to know its limits. Taking care of yourself also means being informed. Now that you know the power of bay leaf oil, I want you to take a moment to imagine it. A natural, affordable remedy, without side effects, that you can prepare yourself at home. And that really works. You don't need chemicals or expensive prescriptions to feel relief. You just need willpower, patience, and trust in the gifts nature offers us. Bay laurel, that aroma that maybe reminds you of your grandmother's kitchen, holds a powerful secret that has always been there. We just had to look at it carefully again. I invite you to try it for yourself. Prepare your bottle of oil this week. Apply it every night, or after walking, or whenever you feel your hands, knees, or back need a break. Do it as an act of love for your body. It's not about miracles. It's about consistency and care. Give the oil 1 week, just one, and watch what changes. Because our bodies don't ask for magic. They ask for attention. They ask for love. They ask for rest. And yes, sometimes they also ask for the wisdom of the natural. I doubted it at first too. I thought nothing would relieve that dull pain, that creaking when I got up. Until I tried it. And I felt the difference. It wasn't immediate, but it was real. And that was enough not to go back. Now I want to ask you something. Are you willing to prepare it this week? Where in your body do you feel the most pain? And very importantly, from which country are you watching me? Leave me a comment. I'd love to read you, and maybe others will feel accompanied seeing that they're not alone on this path. And if you know someone, a father, a grandmother, a neighbor, or a friend who suffers from joint pain, share this video with them. Sometimes, a simple recipe can change many things. And if you liked this content, if you feel you learned something new and valuable, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and join us on this path to well-being, step by step, naturally. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for trusting. See you in the next video.